All right, to the next one. Seizures after eating. I was wondering if anyone else have had this happen to them. I only have seizures after eating, and it's usually caused by eating carbs too fast and not enough protein when I've had less than 7 hours of sleep. I want to know if anyone else experienced this. I only have focal impaired awareness seizures. When this happens, that lasts about 1 minute, but with about 10 minutes of impaired awareness, not tonic-clonics. I only currently take lacosamide. I only take currently lacosamide and lamotrigine.
I had to.
I thought only would be one medication, but okay. Yeah. Anyone have seizures after eating?
No.
Depends what you're eating. Yeah, like when I was really younger, I would eat like a lot of sugar and caffeine and stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, that would lead to it.
Those at least lower the threshold, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm much more likely to have a seizure if I do not eat. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Of course, because
A seizure doing what?
not eating.
Yeah.
Forgetting
Dehydration
to
for me.
eat.
Yeah, because it's like if I
Dehydration's a big one.
I feel like I eat shittier food, like sometimes just because it's easier to make, and it's like, okay, I need something in my stomach. So
Something I can throw in the microwave.
That's right.
yeah, no, seriously, that's why I like
that stuff. It's dangerous.
It's magnets. Magnets go on the fridge, okay?
No. Get an air
no,
fryer.
it's just like when I have stuff in my stomach, I feel better. So I guess, long story short,
I'll buy
No
you another pair. I
to-
promise. I didn't lose them. I didn't lose them.
You eat. You
no to having a seizure after eating.
Check.
Yes to stopping seizures because of food helps stop.
right. Steady calories. Hopefully,
Yeah, I would say
behind.
More the word.
I would say you need, I don't know if it's just me, but maybe you need certain things like healthy fats or stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know, a steady amount of like that. Because I constantly crave like stuff like cheese and meats.
Yeah.
Workout does, like, physical activity is what makes a bigger difference in my energy level. If I'm ever feeling slow, and obviously, like, I have a hard time not eating like too much in one portion, but then I can easily not eat for, another day and a half. I'll still feel tired and lethargic and, not just feel like getting off my ass. But if I do like a 20-minute thing in the morning before everybody wakes up, then I have a way easier time eating steady instead of binging and then going without.
Right.
And I think like some kind of routine or steadiness in like every aspect, from diet to sleep to physical activity, like every neurologist I think has always reinforced that point, that it's supposed to be better for epilepsy. And I don't always believe them, but I guess I have to admit when the evidence is there.
No, I think routine definitely helps for epilepsy.
Definitely.
Like preventing the seizure popping up.
Yeah, so I think, well, I know I had a focal aware yesterday, but I think I had a couple other ones, or maybe another one that I was just unaware, because I just came to with like the really metallic taste in my mouth, and I was really in the mood for chocolate ice cream. So I went and got like 2 huge tubs of chocolate brownie ice cream, and yeah, since I called it on Uber, and by the time they got here, it was almost melted. So I started eating it out of the tub, and then my stepdad's like, put it in a bowl. So I made a bowl, and once I got it in a bowl, I was just like, I'm so ready for this chocolate ice cream that I got so much. And I was like, I don't even want chocolate ice cream anymore. I'm getting all clammy. My hands are sweating. I was like, yeah, I don't want ice cream anymore. I'm sitting down on the floor. and I
Yeah,
was just
getting ready to
going
have
through
your
it,
second.
sweating and stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, oh man, it's coming.
Oh God.
I need to
Gotta
go.
make it
I
into a
can smoke.
milkshake or something after that.
Yeah, really.
I just smoke, and then I got the ice cream. Was like, okay, I want ice cream now.
I want ice cream again now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
it was there after a while.
I think that I probably kept my weight up for the few years that I managed to keep working by eating the ice cream at work because because now I fight constantly, like drop 25, 30 pounds, constantly trying to stay
Yeah,
above 100.
Wow.
I like need to eat.
It's awful. And it is not like I like that. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so fat or,
No.
And I didn't have that feeling even before I ate ice cream, just like ate it. And I didn't care where it went on my body, anything, just,
Yeah, it's like with me, like my weight, it fluctuates a lot. Like I'm usually around like 167 to 173. But I wouldn't say
That's
go out
normal,
of town.
I think.
When I go to family's house, like I am right now, when I go out of town, I should say, and I'm at family's house, they're cooking, they're making meals all day. So I'm eating, and I'll be out of town for 3 weeks, and I'll go back home and be 193, and I don't have like what they say, food cues like ready to eat. I have nothing that makes me want to eat. So I'll be at home, and if nobody makes food, I'm not necessarily hungry. And then sometimes I don't even remember if I've even ate. So I just go on about the day.
Yeah.
And 4 days
Yeah.
later, I'm 179 from 173. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is what's going on. I'm eating a lot when I'm away, and I'm eating nothing when I'm home because I don't like cooking often. Sometimes I want to cook a lot. Sometimes I don't want to cook at all. I don't want to see the kitchen.
So are drastic changes in your diet kind of a trigger for you too?
No, not really. Yeah, like when I go away and I gain some weight, that doesn't exactly make me have a seizure. Yeah, but then like losing weight once I go back home, I don't think that's made me have a seizure, but I just notice it because there's a scale right in my living room as soon as you walk in. So I check that when I get home, and week or two later, I'll check it again, and I lost 15 pounds, and I'd be like, I'm just sitting here, I'm not burning calories.
How did that happen?
I've been doing the introvert movement for like a week straight, sitting here and not losing no calories, but I lost 15 pounds.
Yeah,
I don't get
any
it
trendy
sometimes.
diet has always resulted in more seizures for me.
Yeah.
Dropping dairy, like dropping a whole food group, then that's definitely more seizures. But it takes 2 weeks. If I do it for 1 week, doesn't have the desired effect. It's not actually long enough to lose weight, but that's what's shown me that when my
Where did you get them from?
what's that called? That system in you that burns fat, if that part changes, then by the time I start losing weight, that's when I'm having more seizures. And that usually takes at least 2 weeks.
Right.
This is why I stick to the same shitty diet that I've had for
And there you go. Whatever excuse it takes. No, I can keep the same diet. I just can't make any drastic changes.
Yeah.
I haven't had red meat for a couple of years, but before that, there was a lot of got there around.
Give me my Spanish food.
like checked my A1C the other day, and I'm kind of scared because it said it's in like a pre-diabetic range. So I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I checked that too.
Now I'm kind of like, I'm seeing my doctor on Monday.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of like scared now.
Well, make sure you tell them just in case, I guess.
I think once
I set it up for that reason.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Good. All right.
Because I would kind of like drink pop a lot, and then I kind of went through, I guess, like a week or so period where I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to cut back, and then I got like super fucking tired at work last week where I actually had to step away from the desk and just sit. in the break room for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And my wife was like, that was like the most likely seizure on last week. My wife is like, you could have had a hypoglycemic episode if you said you were really hungry that time, like right before it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Oof.
So it was at like 5.9, and I think 5.7 and above is pre-diabetic. So
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
if you go above 7, they're going to start giving you medicines for it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, no, no. I was kind of a little scared of that, but I
I
think
tried
from
a lot of.
not drinking pop for like a week or something was like kind of, if that's what was like fucking with me, I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
So does anybody think their comorbidities or other conditions were brought on by the epilepsy or maybe some of the meds, or did you have epilepsy first, or did anybody was just like born with other conditions too?
So, like I was saying earlier, I wasn't born with it. I was hit by a car. So then I had one when I was little. Didn't have any more till I was 16. But around that time when I turned 16, I told my mom I think I could have went further and got it later in life if I wasn't taking Benadryl. Kevin told me that Benadryl lowers your seizure threshold, and I was taking it a lot at 16 because I had a dog that had fleas and I was having allergic reactions. Now they said I'm allergic to Benadryl when it's for allergic reactions. But yeah, I've had hallucinations, bad hallucinations. Like the dog is running, go get him. And I'm fighting people to tell them the dog is running out the door. And they're like, no, he's in the garage. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. And I'm fighting to run and bad hallucinations. But yeah, I think if I didn't take the Benadryl, I might have been able to make it to like 21, 22 before they diagnosed me or even had another seizure. But the Benadryl lowered the seizure threshold. And like I said, I was taking 3 or 4 a day just to.
Yeah, so maybe that's my stance on the birth control topic too, because I can't ignore that. Maybe it's not a coincidence that I was diagnosed around that time, within a year or so of starting that. So maybe that just kind of lowered the threshold, brought on the worst ones
Right.
when I couldn't deny it anymore.
Yeah, I was like I told them before, I had epilepsy since I was in the 8th grade, but like a few years ago I was diagnosed with NASH, which is a fatty liver disease. And I don't know, like, us taking pills, that does not help with it. And the best one that I think was helping me was Depakote. And the liver specialist was like, nope, not at all.
I was also diagnosed at 12, that age, but um, I eat really well, and yeah. Um, I'm sorry. What was the original question?
Yeah, we lost.
I
Yeah,
think it was when
I'm
I was
I
asking
don't
about
know.
comorbidity. I was asking about comorbidities.
yeah.
Basically, did everybody else get epilepsy first, or did because I just want to kind of have a perspective on the future if I'm going to have like a team of specialists all communicating, and it just seems like it's harder to manage healthcare that at that point. I have family members that have long COVID, so now they have like a team of specialists that all have to get together and like make a decision on doing one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems like a way more stressful way of managing your health.
I mean, they started popping up after I like had gone out drinking in college, and then after like the 3rd or 4th one, I just stopped altogether. and then it was stopping the seizures, and then after a year and a half, like they just started popping up unprovoked. So yeah.
Anybody else want to go?
I was gonna move to another topic.
Well, I mean, I can tell because, so my my epilepsy was caused by a head injury as an infant, but I had severe allergies to every kind of plant that grows naturally in the Shenandoah Valley where I was born. And I have a severe allergy to dust mites, which are everywhere. You can't possibly get away from them. And when I was 12, when I was 11, I had what they call polyps, and they fell into my breathing passages, and I couldn't breathe through my nose for a year and a half. And they had to scrape all my sinuses out. And I was on Benadryl, of course. And so I have taken Benadryl on and off all my life. But so probably, the head injury was going to cause the seizures eventually, but probably the fact that I was taking Benadryl because of the wildfires and then the heat stroke that I was also having every day and working 50 hours a week, it just turned it on.
Yeah.
But there was probably a connection between my severe allergies as a child and taking Benadryl and where we are now, to a degree, anyway.
Yeah.
And there's Cantuna Lips. How are you?
Yeah,
Hi,
your story, man.
I'm doing good. So on Wednesday I went to trivia night with one of my friends I go with, and I had a real bad aura right before trivia started. Just like wave of panic came on me and just everything. I told her about it. I was like, I'm gonna go pee really quickly before I just ordered a quesadilla and stuff. And the next thing I remember is waking up in the ambulance. I remember peeing into the urinal and everything like that, like whatever. And then waking up in the ambulance. I'm like, hey, you got a pretty bad noggin or like knock on your head there.
Man.
Ouch.
I was like, no, I don't. No, I didn't believe them. And then it took me a while to realize I had a seizure. But I've been like ever since I've woken up from it, I keep having like panic attacks that I had a seizure or something like that. Or like I keep feeling like I had a seizure every time I wake up. And I don't get like the headache, the postictal stuff, but it's like a panic attack or something that like I don't know. It's been messing me up.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I heard that is a seizure.
Huh?
The aura was a seizure, 100%. Like I told the lady that was a seizure, and that's why someone went in after me to get me, is because I went into the bathroom after telling her I had an aura, and she's like, "Hey, can someone do a wellness check on him?" And this dude ended up carrying me out of the bar or out of the bathroom of the bar, and I hadn't even drank anything. Like I had just ordered a quesadilla. I was just getting ready to do trivia, and yeah, and then this black eye came this morning. I woke up with that. But I went to work today.
Call you our success story because you're the only one not taking the meds.
Well, yeah, now I'm really taking the meds. Well, so stupid me. I thought the auras were panic attacks. So did my doctors. They diagnosed me with like PTSD and stuff like that. But I think they're actual seizures I've been having, and they've been getting worse and worse. I think it's because I haven't been taking my meds. And so yeah, now I'm taking extra meds. They're telling me to take 250 pills, 2 of them twice a day. I'm taking like 3 of them twice a day just to be safe.
What are you on? I don't.
Keppra.
Oh,
I have, but luckily since I had this appointment, it shot me to the front of the line for a neuro appointment. So I have a neurology appointment this Tuesday. I'm going to talk to him about making sure I don't run out and seeing if we can up my dosage, because I was still having breakthrough seizures through Keppra and stuff.
In the long game.
Yeah.
Get that neurologist visit.
Well, dude, it takes like 3 months out here to get a neurology
Yeah.
visit. It's fucking terrible.
Um,
Plus money I
Yeah.
don't have. Like that's the worst part is now I'm gonna be stuck with a $5,000 medical bill. But I talked to the nurse and they're like, no, just call them and ask how long you can defer it till, and just tell them you can only pay them like $50 a month. And he's like, yeah, you'll be good. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm sure it's something, a place where we've all been, man. But I
I'm
mean, if
sure.
it's any
Yeah.
consolation, it looks like you're healing pretty good. This one happened last
Wow.
November, and I never lost the
Woo!
lump away.
It's the lump's still there. Damn. Damn.
Like
Yes.
I negotiated. I think I might have mentioned it when I chatted with you last time, but like I negotiated a bill from a hospital that I had down by like I think I got $1,500 or $2,000, and it like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I can pay it like today if that's the amount you want. Like I can pay the full amount
Mhm.
and not pay them in installments if you just do if I can do 1,500 less.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Care
I mean,
credit
most of the
took care of one of those. When I was able to negotiate it a little lower, like at one point I was able to get approved for care credit, and that did actually wipe out one of the major ones.
I mean, the reason they charge so much is they know the insurance providers are going to lowball them for everything. So they charge upwards of like 12 times as much for what they pay for things.
Oh
And
yeah,
so, yeah, if you get like an
Yeah.
itemized list of things, you can get it down because they can't screw you over
exactly.
completely, but they can screw the insurance companies over.
Yeah, itemized bills is definitely where to start.
Yeah. But we'll figure it out. But luckily, it could have been worse. Could have had a skull fracture, internal bleeding, something. But we're all
Yeah.
good. Nothing.
No.
No. And
Yeah.
No.
My mom's mad at me. My mom's mad I wasn't really taking my medication properly, and
I've heard that a lot of times
she's
before
like,
too.
now we
I
know.
know.
She's like, now you know.
I know it's I know it sucks to be on the meds, but I am happy and I'm hoping they like
Figure it out.
control things with it.
I haven't really had like an
Yeah.
aura. I had one aura today compared to like multiple I usually have every
Oh,
day. So
weird.
with the medication, it's definitely helping, but I think I just need to up it. I'm only taking like 500 milligrams a day. I'm taking more like 1,000 just on myself, or just because I want to be taking more. But
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you need a little more.
yeah,
Before
yeah.
before the
They
seizure,
put me on 4,000 milligrams of Keppra, and I was still having breakthroughs, and I was like,
Dude. That's why I
and
didn't think
then
it mattered.
Keppra
So old.
raised.
I thought the auras were panic attacks and I was still having breakthrough seizures. I was like, what's the medication doing for me? Like, other than giving me panic attacks. And I realized that those panic attacks were seizures. And now I'm like, okay, let's load on the medication now.
yeah. So as you know, if you did not notice, I'm a anti-Kepra fan, and I
No,
always find the bad posts
I
about
think
Kepra
a
because
few
I
of
hate
us
it.
are.
So I found one about Kepra. It says, quitting Kepra abruptly. I just quit Kepra, and I was having major mood swings. I would go from despair, anger, depression, highly motivated in a span of 8 hours. It
well,
was
it's like,
pure hell. I stopped taking it 2 days ago, and I feel like my old self again. Does anyone have any kind of mood swings or thought of losing their mind while on Kepra?
Keppra works just like an SSRI. It takes time to build up in your body before it actually starts doing much, and the same way coming down.
Yeah.
So it
That's what I was
really
gonna say. You
it
feel
really
great
fucks with
until you're gonna have
brain.
nothing in your system and you have that really bad seizure, and then you're gonna
Yeah,
not feel
but
great.
coming off of it, you can't just stop it abruptly for that exact reason. It's going to really mess up with your like brain chemistry. You have to wean off of it, like
Yeah,
slowly
cold
just take
turkey's
less
a
and
big
less
no-no.
until, yeah. It's just like, it's the same thing if people take antidepressants and they stop taking them, they're going to get incredibly manic. And it's a very similar thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy how like I think like, lowering a dose on one of the because I think I mentioned I mentioned it earlier, but like lamotrigine, like I thought lowering it like over an 8-week period was kind of long, but it's still like I'm still not getting used to the effects of like lowering the
Not,
dosage.
yeah, yeah.
It's still
I
fucking
mean,
with
how
me.
long have you been on it for?
I've been on lamotrigine since like 2016,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's definitely hard to come off of.
That's a long time.
I've been wanting to lower the dosage on it because it's like, okay, it was clearly not doing its job because I was still having like focals for years.
Hmm.
So I wanted to like lower it to like still have a little bit because okay, it was at least keeping it to just focals and not
Yeah, like
Grandma's.
semi-controlled,
chronic
totally
tonics.
uncontrolled
Yeah.
anymore.
These other meds seem to have or been doing the job better. Maybe I can just up the dosage on these ones and then leave the ugly child out of here.
Yeah. I probably need
Mhm.
to take some more Keppra because I'm like getting aura. Like
Oh,
I don't. It's hard to tell. Like I just get like a smell in my nose or something like that, or like
okay. If you're starting to get phantom smells, that's probably an
An
aura.
aura.
I
Yeah,
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
generally, if
exactly.
I'm to
Which
that
is
point, we're pretty far along.
right.
well, I've been getting those multiple times every day, like not
Oh,
on my medication, thinking that it was just just like panic attacks coming on and stuff. But
well, it
no,
sounds
I've been
like you
getting
should
like a lot of
also
phantom
ask for a
smells,
rescue med when you see your doctor because it sounds like you need
and
something
that's what
to
I'm gonna do.
stop them. Yeah, you need something to stop them before they full
Get that
on.
far along and you can't do
Yeah.
anything for yourself.
Mm-mm.
Right. That's why I've always wondered what could have maybe caused my seizures because I never had auras.
Just like
And
one.
I
Yeah,
never understood
same
if
here.
like the cause of seizures could be related to how they form or
Yeah,
maybe how
yeah.
soon
I
like
mean,
in life
that's
you pick up on it. Maybe putting a younger child on 250 milligrams would do more long term. Maybe it would never get to that tonic-clonic point or totally uncontrolled if you catch it and try to control it sooner.
Right.
But
yeah.
that's just again like feeling like a guinea pig once again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it's like, dude. My doctors don't even know what. Like, I told my doctors I was
Oh, it's so
having panic
frustrating.
attacks, wave of deja vu and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's like that's important or something like that," but didn't do
Yeah, but
anything
your
about it. Didn't give me
psychiatrist is
any
a
extra
bot, like
medication.
programmed to say that.
And then no, my
It's
psychiatrist is the
important.
one that's like, it sounds like panic attacks. You probably have PTSD, and then. And it's like she knows I have epilepsy. My doctor knows I have epilepsy. Like
Wow.
I don't know.
Why would she not connect that? That's
I
terrible.
like
I'm
I
so
left the
sorry.
hospital afterwards with no Keppra. Like they didn't give me any additional Keppra or anything like that. I had to go into my emergency supply, my 30-day bridge I had,
How is it not
and that's what
protocol
I'm
to give you the
using.
rescue med at least? I
Yeah,
thought they
Right,
they
gave out
should be at
implant
least
like candy.
right.
like
Your psych doctor sounds like a moron, dude. My psychiatrist knew immediately what drugs to not give me because I have epilepsy.
I told my doctor don't give me drugs because I'm already on Keppra, and
Oh,
I like well my psychiatrist because
Yeah.
I've handled like depression and stuff without medication before, and I didn't want to go into medication and have it mix up with like my epilepsy drugs. But at the same time, like yeah, she was just completely uninformed on what auras are, I guess. It
No,
just sucks.
my NP is good. She was like, she knew what stuff to look out for to not interact with seizure meds, so she knows like, yeah.
You broke up there.
Oh no, just I guess whatever doctor said, like, oh yeah, it was PTSD or yeah, they're dumb.
yeah.
Like you were saying, uninformed. They were dumb.
Yeah.
I was just. I hope you
They
found
want to
a
write a
better
prescription
one.
for themselves.
Yeah, so Katie, the reason I called Tuna the success story because he lives alone, he buses to work every day, and he didn't take seizure meds. He's just living,
Oh.
taking supplements and vitamins. And I
It's
was
not
like,
working.
success story. His memory is better than ours. But,
Okay.
since this has
Stop.
happened, he
Stop
doesn't have much of an
scaring me.
option now to take that stuff.
Yeah, but bro looks like he's in his
I
20s
keep-
too, right?
You got this going on now, so you
25.
got to take that,
There you
Kevin.
Diagnosed.
go.
Hey, dude, you still have like a full-time job or like in a
Yeah, my job is
career right now.
completely understanding about it. Like I
Yeah.
told them I had a seizure, I was going to take the day off, and they asked me if I wanted to talk to PO about getting like medical leave, so I don't have to use my
What
sick
field are
time and
you in?
stuff
Do you
like
have to
that.
have like a lot of customer interaction or?
I do actually.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm an insurance agent. I help people find better insurance. I hate saying it because I hate insurance and I hate sales, but I truly believe in our company
I've
and like what
made
we
it in
do.
medical collections. That's the only reason SSDI came through for me, and I feel guilty as hell about it now.
I was gonna say
Trying
I'm
to tell
pointing
these
at
people, settle your bill and I'll get it off your credit sooner. I feel like such a piece of shit.
you're the reason I'm bankrupt, or I was bankrupt for about a year of my life. I was getting collection calls constantly, like
Medical data
just
systems?
settle. No, it's just maybe not that, but no, like I was just getting
Yeah, we
calls
handle a lot
constantly.
of like South Carolina hospitals.
I paid about $7,000 because I kept getting collections notifications that I didn't have
Yeah.
to pay, and
I mean,
or didn't
just
have
the
to pay
fact that
them.
medical debts even have any impact on your credit feels so wrong.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
it's there. It's there no matter what. And once they charge it off to somebody else, you can't even tell that it's a medical debt anymore. And hello for another 7 years.
You always think you're invincible. You like live your life thinking you're invincible. Nothing bad can happen to you. I did sports my entire life.
Right.
I'm a healthy kid. And then New Year's Eve, it's like, whoa, life changes.
Mhm.
Throws you a curveball. And then people keep telling me like it's God's plan. He's got a plan for you. I'm like,
No,
Oh.
all
Yeah, it's
righty,
like I was saying, how you
alrighty.
said you feel like you're
got
invincible.
plan right there.
Sometimes I forget I have epilepsy, and then it's like
Yeah,
it comes back and like, hey, you missed
you're
me.
not.
Quick little slap
How
in
you
the
been?
face.
Oh.
What's up,
You thought I was
dog?
gone? You thought I missed you?
You're Slim. You said
Boom, waking up in the ER,
I ain't
and
mad.
you're like, this again?
Yep.
My eyes gotten so much worse. It was
You can take your meds and everything, and believe me, you're gonna have a breakthrough. I take my meds, I eat right, make sure I'm hydrated, and eventually there's still that breakthrough. It's like I thought I was doing everything right. I thought you said take these and eat with it, and this is not gonna happen.
Right.
Doesn't
Hey, but
work
if
like
if it helps you stress any less, to kind of have to come up with a reason for why something like that happens, it's so much easier to take the faith route. Say this is a test from God of some sort, and rationalize it like that.
It is. I mean,
There you go.
I'm going to church this Sunday with my mom. She wants to go with me again, and I told her I'd go. And it's like not necessarily because I'm believing in God or anything like that, but I'm fucking lonely as shit over here. I am so lonely living in
It's gotta
town.
feel like last
You need a
day.
support
You
system
never
with
know
this
when
stuff.
when it's the last day. After one of
Yeah,
those, that's exactly what comes to mind. You never know when
yeah.
it's your last day.
I mean, when the ambulance dude, he's like, yeah, you got a pretty bad knock on your head there. And I just didn't believe him, did not believe him at all. And then I saw it, I felt my hair, and there's like a bunch of dried blood there. And I was like, oh, this is more serious than I thought. And it's so weird how your brain reacts in those situations because I didn't really like realize I had a seizure until I had done my CT scan and stuff like that. The entire time I'm like, why am I here? Like, I'm just going through the motions with these doctors, but I have no idea why I'm here.
You're trying to play cool and you don't even know like half of your mouth is like crusted in blood from where you bit your tongue.
And I'm like, hey, did I have a seizure? And he's like, yeah. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay, things are making sense
one.
now.
It's pretty
Things
bad.
are making sense. Yeah. So I'm a cat. She always wants to go on my lap.
With this stuff, man, you gotta have a support system. Like that said, you feeling lonely, you're gonna get that. There has to be a support system. I heard
Hey, I
people
think
hurt
little one picked up
themselves
on
and
what
all
you just
kinds of
said.
stuff.
That's
I
why
think
you
that's why
take
I'm-
it lap
hurting
now.
themselves and having nobody there to stop them hurting themselves and people
Mhm.
cutting themselves and yeah, it's a
You,
lot.
you know, animals have a way better perception than humans of like when they're needed.
I
Right.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was the
Uh,
idea behind getting this seizure alert dog, but holy shit. This
Yeah.
Labradoodle is like 13 months old and I can't even get this dog to pass the CGC
Yeah.
for like another 6 months at least.
I know dogs can detect a lot of things way before without even like being a trained seizure support dog.
Yeah.
Exactly. I talked to a groomer down the street. She sees me walking with this dog, and you know, small talk in senior citizen communities in Florida is like a must. So this lady ended up telling me how many of her children have seizures, and she was a groomer and she would always bring them to work, and the dogs clustered is the word she used. She said the dogs just like surrounded him right before he went into one as a child.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
that
wanna
was like
support
something
dogs so
reassuring I
bad.
needed to hear, because I really just felt like I fucked up getting this dog.
Nah, my insane Chiweenie, who is
Aw.
almost completely, I mean, he can do tricks, but like also acts completely untrained sometimes, and he barks like a nut. But he will lay on top of me. And after I've had him,
Exactly.
he will lay on top of me and he will not leave the bedroom. He will-
Nice.
Yeah.
My Bowie did that.
Nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, and that's the idea. If I can go on a walk by myself with her wearing the vest that has the rescue meds in it, and
Mhm.
this vest has a little zipper saying medical use, we got the arrows towards the zipper, like I might be able to actually get out by myself for
I've
once.
I've actually started wearing my old fanny pack from when I was a lifeguard with
Okay.
stuff in it, just in case I do ever have an accident like that, that it'll have some medical supplies in there for me. And
That's smart.
I want to get
Idea.
the sniffing salts or whatever. And I want
Oh.
has anyone heard if that helps bring you out of a seizure or bring you back
I
from a
haven't.
seizure at all? Smelling salts?
I have not.
I don't know.
I've always wondered if those could
I
help
wouldn't
out.
force it. That's all.
No,
Mm.
and very true, very
Yeah,
smart.
yeah,
Wouldn't
Sounds
force
like
it.
it'd be worth a try.
You never know. I mean,
Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Run it past your doctor when you have that appointment.
I will.
Tuesday.
I will, because
Yeah.
I'm going to ask about the rescue meds, because I want to see if he'll give me like a prescription for my headaches afterwards as well, because ibuprofen just doesn't do it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
stuck there for about 6-7 hours with the worst headache ever. And
Yeah.
I got some nasalium. I don't take it.
Sometimes that
My-
stuff gives me
That
headaches.
stuff is $1,000. I sell it to you for $500.
My
It
mom
is.
would
It's
get pissed at
$1,000,
me
huh?
if,
It's $1,000.
I guess I'm sitting on a pile of money. So
Yeah.
my husband doesn't
I got
like
4 of them.
Yeah.
just really quickly going back to the whole like God stuff putting this on us. I was listening to, anyone remember the song "If You're Going Through Hell" by Rodney Atkins? I don't know if anyone's a country fan here. I was born in Arizona, so I grew up listening to
If they haven't
country.
sang it on American Idol like last week, then probably not. Probably
That's
not.
bad.
Rodney
No,
Atkins, isn't he a comedian?
it's a song I've listened. It's just basically like, it just says, if you're going through hell, keep on going. Don't slow down, because you're dead if they know. And it's just, I feel like that's our life. Like, we're going through hell, but at the same time, we can't slow down. If you slow down, things just get worse and worse. Like, you have to
Yeah.
do more than other people in order to live a normal life, which I'm not mad about. It kind of gives me a little chip on my shoulder, but at the same time, I know I shouldn't be walking around with a chip on my shoulder. I need to
Yeah,
be
faith reminds you a lot of like what to be thankful for instead of like focusing on what to not be happy about.
Yeah. And I mean, I love life. I'll say, like, I love life. I love being with my family. I love being with my friends. And that's ultimately what gives me faith. It's like, no matter how many seizures I have, like, I'm still happy hanging out with my friends and having a good time with them. And
There you
that's
go.
what matters. Yeah.
And you still got a career. You can absolutely
Yeah.
make the most of that. Still keep your
Now the
long term
fear
and
is
short
dying
term plans
early.
going.
I told my dad, I was like, I'm afraid of dying at 50, or like just dying one day, not waking up after a seizure. And I know that was probably a scary thing to bring up to my dad, but same time, it's just part of our life.
Yeah.
I probably would have told my younger self to don't be scared to talk to an accountant. You know, find out about when you do have this good job for the 2 years that you're going to be able to work and your company's putting into the 401k just as much as you are. Invest it better.
Yeah.
I definitely should have told my younger self that. Don't be so scared of walking into a bank and looking stupid because you don't know shit.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to do that
money,
now with the
money goes
market.
quick when you think you can go back to work and then you never do.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, I've dedicated the last 25 years of my life to school and work and getting ready to work and my career and stuff. And it's like right when I turned 25, that's when everything changes. So I didn't even tell my work about my seizures.
Well, on the bright
until
side though, if you have
recently.
student debts like student loans,
None.
when if or when your disability gets approved, they do actually cancel out your student loans.
Wow.
Well,
What?
Like
the
$60,000,
fuck?
$70,000 of debt is exonerated
That's
when you
amazing.
get. Yes,
Holy shit.
that was a huge
Oh
day
man, I got
for me.
that.
do R's count as seizures in the government and medical situation? Because it's required for you to
Well,
have
what you
like
do is
one
go
seizure
have one of
every.
those like live EEGs where you have an EEG when
I
it's
haven't even done a
happening,
single
and if they
EEG.
see enough spikes,
Yeah.
then anybody will diagnose that as a seizure,
Yep.
Because
as
in
more than just a
Ohio,
neurological event.
So
you have
medically,
to
it
have a
is a seizure.
seizure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, once a week you have to have at least one seizure once a week while on medication in order to like get disability through Ohio. And I didn't realize auras were seizures. So in my head, I'm like, I'm not having a grand mal every week. I'd literally be miserable.
No.
Yeah.
But
So they
Doesn't have
put a
to-
number on it now. It's not just back to where if your condition prevents you from doing your job, you can get approved.
Oh,
They
No, you
actually
have
put
to
a
have
number
like
on
a
it.
certain
I have
amount a
no
week
idea.
and,
Damn.
or whatever.
Wow.
It's like they keep moving the bar back.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
Right.
like.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Because who's going to actually be on an EEG unless you have one of these implants and you can transfer data day to day? You don't actually have a seizure on record. It's all going to be, the government, any government doctor will call it hearsay or,
Right. I was thinking the only way to get it like written down, like on record. My sister was
documented.
saying, I had a sister that told me go to the emergency room every time. But
Every time.
That's what disability lawyers want you to do too. They want you to go to ER every time, even if you don't have to.
Hey, Jason.
hey, Jason.
Hey.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as far as documenting how many I was having or am having, my husband was just sort of writing them down.
Mhm.
I like my seizure diary. That's the website I use. Is called My Seizure Diary, and it asks more than date and time. It gives you 4 categories, whether it's those focal, grand mal, or like it gives you 4 categories, and then it asks and obviously you don't have to take time to fill it in, but some of them are shorter, so it asks you like it gives you an option of recording whether they're shorter, longer, more severe, and then just an open box of
Where you
typing
can describe
notes.
something that
Exactly.
happened. Right.
Yeah.
And that has been a big help in noticing patterns or noticing things that I probably would have missed or it would have taken a lot longer to notice.
I
So they
use
could
the
finally stop upping the dose if I changed
application.
something about my lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, there was one time there was a guy on here and he said he was having really bad Kepper rage as a teen. And he was like, I kind of looked at it as, do you want to take Keppra and be angry, or do you want to be happy and have seizures? And I was like, that's a good way to put it.
Risk
And,
versus reward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I know, right? I mean, I almost died.
Get
My
the
first
biscuit.
adult seizure, like really, I was slowing down, breathing. The first thing in my medical file now, with my epileptologist says, very high risk of SUDEP. Because
Wow.
I've done it more than once. I just basically stop breathing. Yeah, and foaming and all of that good stuff. So for me, yeah, I don't know if the risk reward is. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
even though
that's
the
how
pills are
like
horrible, they're hell, but
Right.
yeah, like that's how like I basically was stuck on my end, basically. Yeah, that's how I was stuck on my end, basically, like in the sad part of misery and stuff like that. Like like I remember like this clinical psychiatrist this clinical psychiatrist, and she told me straight up that this clinical psychiatrist, and she told me that like this clinical psychiatrist, and she
Take
told me
your time.
like
okay, buddy.
like would you want to like be like at like would you want to be stuck on square one at like in my mom's house moving, or go to another place? And like, and it means like would I be like taking Keppra for the rest of my life, or switch to another medication and stuff like that? So like, and like, and it hit me for a while, and it hit me for a while. Like I was taking Keppra for at least like 7 years.
How much?
So like the doses was like 500 milligram a day.
Okay, that's about what I'm at right now. Yeah.
Did they
I
just
took it
keep trying
for
to up it on you over the years?
Yeah, like they kept trying to the doses me up on the years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then and then like as the years has gradually had kept up, they kept making it worse and worse until like the last seizure that I had on at the security for ball halls and stuff like that, like that actually woke up. That actually woke me up. I it like it was like 3,000 milligram of Keppra.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And
That's
then
the
like
max dose, and that's
1 grand
what they'll
above
put you
you.
on. Yep.
like
I-
like
They'll tell you to take those big, like 750 milligram pills,
Ooh.
oh
I
and
man.
then they
will
put you back on the
say,
500s, and then just tell you to take 3 at a time, twice a day.
Yeah.
if you don't like Keppra, tell your doctor. There are dozens of anti-epileptics out there, and Keppra is just one of them. If you don't like being on Keppra, if you want to try something else, let your doctor know. They
Yes.
won't know unless you tell them.
As soon as possible, because if you once you
Yes.
get on that highest dose, it takes
Ex-
longer and longer and
To
longer
wean
to
off.
wean
They're gonna
off.
have to wean you
down.
off some before they put you on something else. So you have to try to. But yeah, talk to your doctor if you don't like the way Kepra's making you feel. It affects everyone differently. Like I personally haven't gotten a lot of the mood swings or anything like that. I will say I find myself getting like annoyed at people, but at the same time,
Hey, at
they
least
feel
you
like
notice, though.
auras. They feel like
At least you
auras
notice.
coming
It doesn't
on.
take like those around you to tell you that you're being a bitch.
That's
Or
good.
well, in your case, I'm sure they wouldn't use that word.
I've always tried to
That's
been
pretty
an
much how I had to
upbeat
hear about it from
person,
my
but
family.
yeah.
No, yeah, man. Like they made me start hating like at my life and everything. And it made me start hating at my life, and it made me like not want to text people, and it made me not want to like make music ever again. And like, and made me, and like, and now like, and now I want to start making music again.
I think the sad thing about that is so many people deal with depression that like I probably felt that exact same way during Kepra, but at the same time, like I've dealt with depression and stuff like that. So I probably didn't trigger in my mind that it was the Kepra doing that. It probably was just like, I'm in a tough part of my life and I'm probably a little depressed right now. And I think I used that as the reasoning instead of the Kepra, but you probably absolutely right. It affects your desire, your motivation, and just that tiredness as well that it causes. Like I came home from work and I'd be too tired to do anything. I would just want to watch the TV show and go to bed.
Does everybody else get the vibe that certain medications can actually affect you differently at like different points in your life, though?
I've
Yeah.
only tried Kepra.
I mean, anybody done the Keppra and then gone off it 10 years later, they tried it again and had a different outcome?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't
Yeah,
taken.
because I think my list was of medications was just so long from like the high school years that by the time I got to an adult and like stable again, basically, the neurologist looked over the list and said, "Well, you were only on this one for 2 months. You want to try again?"
Yeah.
And that's how I'm back on Keppra.
How
Yeah.
long are
Yeah.
you free? Are
Gross.
you seizure free right now?
No, still
No.
uncontrolled, but
Still.
the medication resistant epilepsy is, I think, the #1 diagnosis on my chart.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Is anyone here seizure free right now?
No.
No.
Kevin,
Yeah,
Hey,
I am.
Jason, you put your hand up.
Kevin, congratulations.
Kevin!
Let's go. Let's go, man.
Kevin's probably the longest.
To your health, everyone. Cheer.
Kevin's got 7 years free.
come on,
Really?
Kevin, brag
That's
about it.
weird.
Yes.
I think it's 6 years. I'm not
Oh,
100%
6 years.
sure.
Okay, well,
Hey,
still.
that's the success story we need to be talking about. You taking your
Yes.
meds?
Still, you're better than all of us.
Yes, let's call
Hey,
you
let's
cured
go.
just to make everybody else feel better.
Come on, brag about it a little bit.
It-
What's it like?
You
It,
driving?
it was not an easy way here. I'll just say that. I hear a lot of what you're saying, and I'm definitely like, yeah, I was in your place, and I had the scars too coming to get here. So, yeah.
Well, God bless you for learning from your experience
Mm-hmm.
and
Thank you for being
still
here
being
as
into
well.
even joining the group.
Yeah,
That shows you
that's
didn't forget
thank
about
you.
it. So that's learning and the best way to move on.
You're
Yeah,
helping all of us
Kevin's here.
here.
He's a regular. But I've
He's
had an
been here
hour and
every
a half
time.
to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible to get here. That's what I'm gonna tell you. It's not
You
impossible.
taking
All right.
taking
So
the
next time
meds?
your name on here should be inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Come on, you
Right.
gotta join as
Right.
the man.
Okay, I got another
Make
Kepler
your middle
hating
name
host.
inspiration the next time you join.